in my quest to win the plus-minus game during my 4 years in college. I developed several strategies that helped me to pursue my goal. Before each quarter began, I would use a Sharpie to write 4.0 in large block numbers on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that I would post on the wall above my desk to constantly remind myself of my goal. I made a new sign every quarter. As soon as I received the syllabus for each of my classes each quarter, I would schedule in my planner every homework assignment, reading assignment, paper, and test. That way, on any given day throughout the quarter, I knew precisely what assignments I needed to prepare for. For the reading assignments, I would divide the number of pages I had to read by the number of days I had to read them, so that I knew exactly how many pages I had to read each day. During the first week of each quarter, I would visit each of my professor's office hours to introduce myself, to express my interest in the class, even if I was not interested, and to tell the professor that I was going to do the work necessary to earn an A in the class. I also told the professor that I would visit throughout the quarter whenever I had questions or just to check in, which I always did. Each day, before leaving for campus, I would put all the books, notebooks, and materials I needed for the day in my backpack so that I would have them for the classes I had that day and for studying in between classes. That way, I did not have to waste time going back and forth between campus and home. Regardless of the time my first class started, I would arrive on campus at the same time every day, and regardless of the time my last class ended, I would remain on campus until the same time every day. In between classes, I would study, eat, utilize campus resources, participate in campus activities, and/or visit with friends. That way, by the time I returned home from campus, I had completed all my schoolwork for the day and could enjoy my free time. Whenever I did not have a class immediately before another class, I arrived 10 minutes early for each of my classes to get settled, organize my materials for the class, and review previous class notes so that I would be ready for the day's lecture. Regardless of whether I had a 500-person lecture or a 24-person discussion section, I sat in the center of the front row of each of my classes and away from my friends so that I could avoid distractions and focus all my attention on the professor and the material being taught. While in class, I forced myself to avoid doodling in my notebook or letting my mind wander, and instead made connections between what I was learning that day and what I had previously learned in the course. I also made connections between the course material and my goals for the course or my future, even if, and especially when, the lecture was boring. I attended every one of my classes each day, regardless of the time of day, how I was feeling, the weather outside, or the opportunity to do something else. Throughout my 4 years in college, I missed a total of 7 individual classes because I had to travel out of town for family obligations on 2 separate occasions. On each occasion, I told the professors of the classes I would miss that I would be absent and had one of my roommates attend the classes I missed to record the lectures and to take notes on my behalf so that I would not miss any material. I read every word of every reading assignment for each class and completed every problem of every homework assignment. Immediately after class, or as soon as possible, I reviewed my notes for the class to ensure that I could understand them and to supplement them with any information I may not have had time to write down during class. At the end of each week, I reviewed all my notes for each class to that point in the quarter to ensure that I was making and understanding the connections between the course material from lecture to lecture and from week to week, which also resulted in an ongoing study routine throughout the quarter. I developed a personal note-taking system and reviewed, highlighted, and/or recopied my notes as necessary throughout each quarter and regularly converted my notes into study guides. The strategies I developed allowed me to overcome my cavalier attitude and the bad habits I had developed in high school, and realize my epiphany while achieving the academic success that I was always capable of, but did not pursue in high school.